kalampay adi ay alimango hinay kalang sa hinayan warat panog dalian basi ikaw himanan ade mabali temban kulabo kolambau iumbaw aman tolin da iligaw sa bukid dagkaw saben teken makumanya dang dato masing dang malangga gaguminan deui kalampay panau deui alimango giwat dileudeuleug berat dengan gada ide saboket ja ide saben teken gumina nada gabi panau nada madeleung kukunden ono.
As a child, no, and even as as a young student, even from grades 5, even as early as grade 4, then up to the high school, up to college, I have always loved something near to history, and literature is very near history. I love history and culture. I love literature because literature has a historical and a cultural background. So it's a given thing that I like things like this. No? I know that some students or some researchers would be interested in doing epic work because there are still other places in the Philippines which have epics. I cannot tell it now where, but I know there are epics somewhere in the Visayas. So, ang maigi dyan, connect also with people who have gone there first. Baka may alam kayong tao na nakakaalam, na nakapunta na doon. Or sometimes, that person also will connect with you if they know that you are interested in the study of epics. Or in my case, halimbawa, alam ni Cebolante that anthropologist ako. So siya ang pumunta sa akin at naghingi ng tulong, natutulungan ko siya. Then later on, we found out na hindi pala kaya ng isang tao, dalawang tao. No? When the epic work expanded, so we have to get a team. So get in touch with people, or maybe someone who knows you as interested would look for you, would seek you. No? Then second, sa IPRA law kasi ngayon, nangailangan na may consent from the community that you will have to study that work, that epic, so that baka kung anong mga terms ang ano nila, no? Of course, mabait ang mga tao sa bukid. Even if they didn't know the value of that, siguro they will just say, oh sige, ano lang, no? Pero sa akin noon kasi at first kasi I didn't know, I just love doing it, no? But if they like it, pwedeng initiative nila o kaya higit sila ng tulong sa inyo para na-joint work kayo. Ang mga real kasi na owners ng epics are the chanters themselves, and ang self ko, I regard myself as researcher or chief researcher of my group, and as also translator or chief translator of the group, no? So dalawa yan. The real owners, now, unlike before, the real owners of the epics, are the people themselves, the singers, or if the singers got it from their kamag-anak, and people in a community are usually kamag-anak, it could be na it would belong to the community. Now next, may informed consent ka na, of course you should get ready with mga gamit mo, mga recorder mo, and how long would you stay, and then make arrangement, feel close to the family, nang bilangin mo na parang kasama ka sa family. Kasi kung parang binibilang mong kasama ka sa family, hindi ka na dyan, they'll not keep something from you, no? That is what I did with the first epic. Pero later, ang iba na kasi marami na, I have to look for some money na bibili ako ng bigas, isang sako, and then maybe some amount for bayan, so that when I get their time from the farm work, at least may I could give them something, But Ang kanilang free time lang, ang inano ko, I don't want to impose on them, no? Free time lang nila, no? Unless, of course, they want to help you, and then, maski na hindi free time nila, they want to help you, and maybe you could give them some kind of incentive, but usually it's good na you don't disturb the pattern of their work, the pattern of their day-to-day life, no? Those are techniques on how to get close to the family, no? May ano ka na dyan, then bring something, and then arrange for the schedule. Arrange mo schedule mo with them, no? And you can also arrange schedule sa, ano mo, sa yung assistant, para na kung mapagod siya, you can take over, or maybe you can make arrangement where the chief researcher can already start studying the, no, or maybe looking at the background of the epic, doing some ethnographic work to contextualize, and then you researcher can do the other work, no? Recording, transcribing, and then you can start with the translation. Una siguro muna sa nearest language, and later on you can jump to Filipino. Philippine, malapit yun Filipino, and then later, much later na lang English, no? Typing, of course, no? That's a lot of work, and typing, and then editing, and then checking, no? Typing, and then looking for a publisher, or maybe the publisher will just come to you. So you also need what you call this, the inspiration and the support of your institution. Otherwise, if you're left with a work like that, you will just wake up in the morning, and if you know how valuable the work is, you will wake up in the morning with tears falling on your eyes. No? Why are the epics important? There are a lot of things that you can get from the epics, but I'll just say 3 things. No? Number 1, the Panay epics is a fresco. It's a painting of pre-Hispanic Visayan life. First, you will see that it is a maritime society, and that indeed it is true. Archipelagic tayo, you know, even if you're there on the mountain tips and have not gone to the town, no? The epics states that once upon a time, these people were maritime people, and it says a lot of that. A lot of things happens there. No? Second, pre-Hispanic Visayan life or Philippine life, no, is a warrior society. But it is not, it is a warrior for defense. Hindi tayo nangangaway, no? It's a warrior society for defense. So bawat mga ibungan niya, ginagwardyahan niya ng mga buyong, or what we would call as the dato, no? When they would come there, ang taga-gwardya would ask them anong purpose niya, no? And kung hindi yan sila magkasundo, or if they think that it's a threat, no? Mag-awayan, patayan. So we're really a fearless people, no? If our honor is being challenged, no? Malaman mo yun because sa kanilang suot, dinedescribe yung sinaha, it's a long bladed bolo, yung protector, yung taming, at saka yung lance. Every time they go out, no, kumpleto sila, no? But this is not for killing people. Talagang pangdamit nila yon. It's adornment nila. Hindi ka totoong lalaki, parang hindi ka tunay na lalaki, no? Kung hindi ka nakaalis ng bahay na ganon. Ganon talaga yun, no? And the women also are dressed beautifully, no? Then ikatlo, aside from being artistic people, no, and you could see it there, no? Artistic, ito, nasa kanilang traditional designs. And it shows how close they are to the environment. Sudlikama, taken from the skin, inspired by the skin of the python snake, no? This one is sikag-sikag. It's a kind of plant. Ito naman ang parang balsa, wala lang, no? Parang this one, it's a kind of fern. Fern, kinakain ito eh. Tinagyan ko lang yun ng mga palamuti, no? And matang punay, let's see. Where are you, matang punay? I think this is matang punay. These are traditional designs. Okay. So aside from being artistic, mahalaga sa mga Filipino as typified by the Panay-Bukidnon Visayans, ang word of honor. Word of honor. That's why in 3 episodes, the Panay epic, nandyan palagi ang tuos. Kung kakasalin kalimbawa, kasi very important sa kanila yun for their daughter to be promised and married, no? Kailangan yan may nakaano na, tuos, something precious. That's why we have that gold pubic hair. It's symbolic of something promised. No? Talagang it's as good as tapos na ang covenant. Yan, no? The second naman doon sa may Derikaryong Pada, the gold medallion was the precious thing, their material object, which is promised to matanayon, no? When the right time comes na kakasalin na sila. I mean, yung parang magkasama na sila sa couple, no? At the last one involves also the tuos of a gold boat in the epic, no? So word of honor is very important to them. Maybe some people would ask me, no, how was I able to sustain my work in the thesis? Really, I have to confess that with that kind of work, no? And then if you don't have support, parang gusto mo na mag-give up, no? But the spirit in me is still there. Still there, no? I rested momentarily because there was no funding and then walang no? But when the right people came, I pursued the work, no? So kailangan ka-committed ka. You should be committed to the work, no? Committed to finish it, no? When the resources are there, no? Because it's not just one epic, it's the 13 volumes, no? And then second, no, you have to know your potentials. You have to know your talent. You may have the potentials, pero pag hindi mo masyadong nagustuhan ang trabaho, no? So I love the work, and I think I would say I have the potential, no? And what sustained me is my faith in God. I believe that if God has placed me at such time in the University of the Philippines, at such place, and allowed me to know the Panay-Bukidnon and to work with them, no, it was for a reason. No? I believe that I should use my talents, I should use my giftings. I believe that what I study, I should return back to the people so that I can tell other people that there is dignity in doing work with the IP, with the indigenous people, no? And in my case, more especially in doing epic work with them, as well as in learning other aspects of the culture, which is also found in the epics, like the Binanog dance, no? And the use of the instruments, no? One of the purpose of my study also, no, is to give dignity to them. I found out that years before that, no, many of the people do not want to be identified as IPs. Yes, not necessarily there, but even in other places in the past, no, they don't want to be identified as chanters, no, which means that maybe they had some kind of a bad experience in the lowland about it, no. So now, when I worked with them, I also did a lot of advocacy. Yes. No. So when they learned that this work is very valuable, and when I also learned from them that their parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents, their 5 ascending generations were mostly binukot. They were manugusay or arbiter, and then binukot, which means they are chanters also, no? Then all the more, when they knew that I appreciated their binukot ancestry, no, many people also came out with saying that they have also binukot ancestors and that the binukot ancestors have also skills. So it gave them some kind, it boosted their ego as a people, no, their dignity as a people, no. And to me that is very important, no, because when you give dignity to the people, no, that would encourage them to do more, no, to, like for instance, do other aspects of the culture, which is also found in the epics, like this one, no? This came from them before. they didn't do this before, no, but later on they revived it, no, with some help also became a livelihood, no, and because of the skills that have been identified through the study of the epics, and so with the rest that have been identified, no, that became one of the main reasons why we applied. I merely helped them, no? They like it, no? I told them about the idea of having a school for living tradition, and they like it, no? And they said we really longed that our epics would be chanted, and we thought that this day, the day would not come, a day like this would not come. And so when we helped them, when we worked together for the proposal on the first school for living tradition in the Visayas, which is found in Darangan, no? Then that further boosts their ego. Kung mayroong mga presentation somewhere where before walang pupunta, ngayon talagang everybody wants to go, no? And so sabi ko sarili ko, that gives them a sense of dignity, and also gives importance to the position of the binukot. As a woman who is a transmitter of history, a transmitter of arts and the knowledge, the binukot are usually women who are selected because not only are they pretty, but because they are talented. They have the brains, that they are talented, no? And so, why did we have the first gawad manlilikat na bayan in epic literature in the person of Federico Caballero? And why do we have also an indigenous leadership awardee in the person of Romulo Caballero? No. It's because they have binukot or kept maidens for their ancestors 5 generations back, and these were chanted to them and so forth, no? And they happened to know the epics because they were the first children, the first 3 or 4 children, no? So I would like to say that to the researchers, no, that when you study on the oral literature or anything on the indigenous people, you should also bear in mind that it's good to give them dignity as a people, to give them also livelihood as a people, no? Because if you do this, no, you change their image, no? You give them a sense of self-confidence, no? And when you are able to do that, you also feel that you have done your work as a researcher, that you didn't just go there because you want to get data for your work, for your academic work, no? But you have to go there because you want to give back to them what you have studied about them, and you want to help them. You want to raise their dignity as a people. Because to me, the dignity of the Panay-Bukidnon that I have worked with, no, is the dignity of the Visayas as a whole, and is the dignity of the Filipino as a whole before the whole world. So I thank people who have supported me in this work. I thank people who like the work that I do, and now it's starting to go around the world, no? And I thank people like you. I thank future researchers who would be interested in doing also similar work, maybe in Samar, maybe in Leyte, or maybe in Bicol, or wherever, some more, in Mindoro. More are waiting there, I know, no? And just know your talent, know your skill, no? It may not be in the epic, it may be in some other kind of work, it may be in some other kind of oral literature, no? But know your talent, no? And emphasize your talent, no? You cannot do everything in this world. You cannot develop all of your talents, no? But know where you are good at, no? And highlight it, no? Thank you.